All right, so Al told me that we're on the air, or at least on the podcast. So here we go. Podcast Thursday. What's up?
Good morning, Jerry.
Yeah.
Interesting topic that came up on the Boomer and Geo show today. It was sent in by Pete Hoffman, midday show producer, and he asked Geo if he thought Boomer or Geo would go to BT or Sal's funeral if they passed away.
Why would he send that in?
I guess maybe they're covering that on the program today. I'm not sure, but it was a good question. And it's just something I think about a lot, like when you don't go to funerals or wakes.
Sure.
And Boomer and Geo's take was, well, they both live in New Jersey now, so
That's a terrible take.
that'd be a tough one. But I think
By the
Geo
way,
said
Geo would go.
Geo would go. Yeah,
100 times out of 100, he would go.
yeah,
I don't care if Sal moved down to Tom's River. Geo would go.
Yeah, you
got
gotta
his
go.
roommate. He was his friend. We can talk like that on the air. He would go.
Let me ask, would I go to that?
I have no idea. You'd be off the hook. You never really worked with Sal other than a couple of days here and there.
But
Gio and Sal were legitimate friends.
But I like Sal, and I work.
Then you
here,
should go.
And it is in New Jersey.
I thought you were asking more. Would you feel required to go?
Yeah, I was probably.
No, I don't. No, I don't think so. I think if you went, that would be great.
I think I would go to that. You know what? Where it gets. The thing I always have a hard time with is if it's not the person itself, but someone close to a person I know.
Yeah, I think it depends on who, you know.
I think you're very good at going to wakes.
Well, because it doesn't take much.
No, I'm saying like you're very good at that. The man we call the architect, he's great at going to wakes.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think it's something about, are you Italian?
I am.
I think something in the Italian people really respect the wake.
I hate the wake.
No, but I mean respect, even though you hate the wake, respect that it's the right thing to do going to the wake.
Maybe. And maybe subconsciously you're right. To me, it's more, I think about the person the person I know that's dealing with the loss. Are they going to be, happy's not the right word. It's a terrible day, but are they going to be thankful that you showed up?
Yeah.
Just to say hello and see how they're doing. And, like when Scott passed away a few weeks ago, a friend with ALS that we did the 2 golf tournaments for, I mean, there were so many people there. It was, I don't even want to call it it was literally a pass-through. There were so many people. There was no room to even stand. Saw his wife, saw his kids, went up to the casket. I saw a couple of people in his family, talked for just a couple of moments. And then, you were kind of out the door. You did what you did because there was no point in staying because all you were doing was taking up space for all the other people that were coming behind you as well. And it was, they're tough. There's nothing good about them. I personally, and I probably should put this in my will, which me and my wife do have to amend at some point soon. I don't want one. And if I do have one, I want it closed. I don't like the idea of having someone just because
What you want? What closed?
The casket.
Oh, okay.
I want the casket closed and more of the idea. I've always found it. You talk about showing respect. I've always found it very distasteful and disrespectful when someone is lying there in a casket, having expired, died, passed away, whatever, and people are yucking it up 15 feet from them. Close the casket then. You're there for that person for sure. And I have no issue with it being a celebratory mood, if you will, to celebrate their life, but don't do it while the guy's body or gal's body is just lying there.
Yeah.
Like when Joe Boylan, who used to be my partner for Rutgers, he was an older gentleman. He was an assistant coach at Rutgers in the 70s. I worked with him for 5 years. When he passed away, the way they did it, and I went all the way down to Cape May for his funeral wake, whatever. I don't even know what it was called. It was closed casket. It was a lot of memories about him all over the place. And people just talked about him and, it didn't feel wrong. To me, when that casket's open, it just feels wrong.
I agree. A closed casket with a lot of nice pictures of you from over the years
should be sufficient.
You know what I also think about that, though? You know what's weird, too? It's like someone passes away. Like, let's say someone very close to you passes away. And then it's like, oh, we got to now gather up all the photos. That seems tough.
Very hard.
That's a tough ask for the family.
Sure. Well, you can put as many or as few out as you want.
Yeah.
Some people go all out and make photo boards, and it's got to be really hard to do in that time. Has
Right,
to
because
be.
like the family is going, okay, now we have to go through the photo, and now like we don't even have the photos printed,
No, you got to print them all out.
so you got to print them all out.
Yeah.
Going through digitally all this stuff seems strange. Yeah, I think I'm with you. Like although I wanted to be cremated, but I think they still give you a maybe you
They
still
could
have
give
a
you
casket,
of course you could.
and then nice, lovely photos of me through the years.
When a friend of mine's mom passed away last year, what they did rather than print stuff out, the funeral home had TVs with digital photos
Oh, I like
rolling.
that.
And that was a very nice remembrance.
Could you make sure, Jerry, if I pass away before you, I took a nice
Well,
picture
that's
with
not going to happen.
I took a nice picture with Jerry Seinfeld once. I would
Okay.
love to have people see that.
Matter of fact, that's the only photo.
Just put up the picture of me. Here's what I want, Jerry.
Al and Jerry.
Me with Jerry Seinfeld.
Right.
Me with Tom Green.
Okay.
Me with Richard Lewis.
Gotta be one Boomer. Has to be.
Me with Boomer. Boomer and Geo. Boomer and Carton. You guys. The family, of course, Jerry.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other famous people.
You've not mentioned a photo with you and Whimsy yet.
Me and Whimsy, yeah, of course. Me on the field at Yankee Stadium, I think would be
Sure.
cool.
I have that great photo of you with the back from the
Yeah,
behind, so you can see
that's a
Dukes
great
and your
one.
number and the stand.
Yeah,
It's a very cool photo.
that's a great one.
I agree. It's a very cool photo.
I'm not one, I live by myself, so it'd be weird to have pictures of myself on the wall. I think is a little by myself.
Yeah.
But I do have a frame that has 3 photos in it that I look at as my favorite work photos or most unique. And it's the picture of me, I think that you have
Mhm.
of on the field at Yankee Stadium, the picture of me, Craig, and Jerry Seinfeld, and then the picture of me singing on stage at the Beacon Theater.
Sure. Yeah.
That was a cool one.
That's pretty good. Think about what
Those
you
are-
just said. Me singing on stage at the Beacon
Yeah,
Theater.
that was cool.
That is very cool.
Me and the Allman Brothers. You
You
know
know,
how we both do it.
When this is all done,
Yeah.
and I mean the show or our time here, I don't necessarily mean dying.
Not a wake or funeral.
Have you ever actually thought back to, and we're still in the middle of it, but all the cool things that we have been able
Yes.
to do? That, that's pretty neat, but boy, you add them up, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, and when it gets to be a lot of years, you forget about some of them. They
Sure.
pop up on those Google photo memories. And
Yeah.
you go, oh man, that was cool.
Forgot about that.
It's also weird, when you're doing it for this, the show's been on the air for 18 years.
Yeah.
The ones that come up in Google memories of people who have passed. Like there's a number of people that we've had on the show over 18 years that are passed away, and their pictures come up sometimes, like Bob Saget and
Yeah.
Richard Lewis. And
Richard Lewis died? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess so.
yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so those things pop up.
Yeah, reminders.
Reminders indeed. I always wonder too though, like you ever feel like at some point, unfortunately, we're getting old ourselves, Jerry. At some point our parents will
Of course.
like do you think Boomer's going to feel obligated to come to our parents'
No.
funerals?
Nope.
And would we expect him to?
No.
I would not.
No. Nope.
Hmm.
He didn't go. Did he go to Eddie's?
I'm not sure. Right. Eddie's dad passed away while
And
we
his-
were here. Yeah,
And his mom?
That's an interest. And his mom also or
I believe so.
while I was here?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Oh yes, because I that's where I met his dad.
Mhm. See, I met his dad when I interviewed with him
Yeah.
back in like 1990.
Yes.
2000. I don't even know when it was. Maybe around 2000-ish. So
Because you know how like awkward I am in general in public
I do.
things.
Yeah.
Imagine somebody coming to the wake of a close family member of mine that I feel like, oh my gosh, they probably felt obligated to come, and then that will be an awkward interaction.
It doesn't have to be though, because if the person realizes that, if they're a fringe coworker or a fringe friend, it really should just be, so sorry, hang in there, pay your respects, and then I don't want to say your obligation, but you've done what you should do. Very nice.
Yeah.
You don't need to sit there and stare at one another. That to me is the worst.
I tell you, the last wake I went to was my uncle's sister passed away.
Okay.
Now, I did not really know my uncle's sister because she lived somewhere else, but I knew her name and him referencing her. I scored so many points going to
For
that.
sure. For going to that.
They did not. No one expected me to show up to this.
Well, you've got a reputation for wanting to do absolutely nothing every day. And everything's an inconvenience to you, even someone's death.
Correct. Right. Could they have passed on a different day? To the point where, after you go to the wake, then there's the funeral and then the
repass.
And, after the wake, and I was like, I'm not sure if my sister said to me, she goes, "You've scored so many points. You don't need to go to the funeral." Then, she called me later that day, my sister. Now, my sister went to the funeral and went to the repass. She goes, "Do you know the only thing people talked about was how nice it was that you showed up to the wake?"
Boy, they really expect nothing from you.
They really don't. I really set expectations at them. Absolutely bare minimum.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Usually if I go to the wake, I don't go to the funeral. And if I miss the wake, I try to make it to the funeral.
Yeah. I always feel like if you had the choice that the wake, unless, the funeral, if you're super close to the family, otherwise the wake, right? That's
See, I actually think the other way.
Really?
Yeah, I think the other way. Only because, like you just said, if you're not very close to the person or the people you're going to see, I don't know, as opposed to just going and being there for the final.
But when you go to the funerals, I have not strangely been to a lot of funerals.
I have
been very fortunate. But I know there's that part where you take a flower and put it on the grave or on the casket.
You can,
right?
sure. It depends on the funeral. Yes.
And I always imagine like the person in the casket be like, "Who's this guy?"
I have no idea.
Like, who's this guy putting a rose on my head? I don't even know this guy.
They have no idea.
They don't?
No. They have no idea. It's crazy this is your topic today because I was watching Neil deGrasse Tyson came across my YouTube timeline yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was about disproving those that believe in God, and not in a disrespectful way. It was more he was guests on a few different programs, and they were asking him about people that believe in God as opposed to the science community. And he did one with Piers Morgan. Is that the guy, the British talk show host, where he's deeply religious and 100% believes in God? And his question to Neil deGrasse Tyson was, and this is, I think, 6 years ago, was essentially something like, how did life begin? So Neil deGrasse Tyson gives this unbelievably intelligent, scientific answer. And it ultimately comes down to, as he points out, gases coming together and all that stuff, and carbon. Okay. So at the end, Piers Morgan goes, where'd those gases come from? It's a bigger power. And all Neil deGrasse Tyson said, and I'm like, wow, that's a great response. But then the response to me was even better. He goes, you guys are funny. Every time science gives you proof of something, you move the goalpost back farther. He goes, you want to know this? We give you an answer. You go back further. We give you the answer. He goes, it takes time to get these answers. He goes, that's the only one we haven't figured out yet. So you just say it's God. Well, you thought this was God and that was God. Every time we go, he goes, we're back 1 billion years. Like, we're trying here.
Could go back. You can go back to the very beginning of science and then say, well, God created that.
Yes, that's exactly his point.
That's a great it's
argument.
A
very good argument.
Yeah.
It was an interesting watch, what I would say.
Yeah. It is funny how YouTube, we know there's algorithms and what. It's funny when YouTube throws something at you from like 15 years ago. Like, this thing's been sitting on YouTube for 15 years and you've decided today's the day I need to see this.
So guess what popped up yesterday that I watched 15 years ago? How about 19 years ago? 60 Minutes with Bill Parcells, as he was named the Cowboys coach, with Mike Wallace. And I watched it. I didn't watch it.
I love the ones that you can see it was a VHS tape.
Yes, this was that.
Where it's, you see like
this was that. It goes to show, though, and this is certainly a knock against myself. I'm not claiming otherwise. Whether it's Charlie Kirk or any of these other hot topic items that you surprise me with on a daily basis between 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning.
Because I'm just perusing Twitter before we go on the air.
For sure. But even the Gary Cohen thing, which I saw the headline, I didn't watch that game live, so I didn't see it. And unfortunately, between 4 and 5, I have too much other stuff to do. I hadn't gotten to that other than the headline I saw. So I don't have a good frame of reference to give you an answer, which I clearly didn't the other day. But my point is, like, none of that stuff comes up on my For You for Twitter. I get no politics on YouTube. I get nothing but Drew Pearson and NFL films. I get, Patrick Cantley hitting the driving range. I get how to invest your money in the S&P 500 properly.
Yeah, I like those.
Health and retirement videos. I don't get any of that stuff. But it's funny how it knows what you are watching and consuming.
Yeah. Yeah, I get more of the political stuff on Twitter for sure.
I'm sure.
My YouTube is still pretty good as far as like sending me cool stuff. Like I'll get stuff like NFL highlights from week 3 in 1972. You're
Which
like,
is so
what is
awesome.
this? This is tremendous.
How about the full games that you can find now that YouTube started giving me full games? So they gave me one from, oh my God, was it 1986 Giants Cowboys? I haven't watched it yet, but the Cowboys are in their blue uniforms at Giant Stadium. I didn't put it on yet. It's really cool. It is cool. But like even the Tylenol thing, which you're going to hear in a moment on the warm-up show, none of that. I didn't see any of it other than where we left it the day before with what Trump said about it. And I didn't even realize there was an update and that was what was going on. But again, it goes to show how dumbed down what I watch is. It really is very mindless.
But I'm trying to figure out too, like now we have, as far as sports goes, like all the apps that have all the highlights, and any game you want to that happened, you see the highlights.
Yeah.
You could really figure out what's going on. And there are sometimes, like on a Sunday night, I'm like, okay, I have a full grasp of Giants and Jets, and I saw a bunch of stuff from the other games. I don't feel like I have a full grasp. And yet, when I was 15, 16, I felt like I had a full grasp on the entire NFL, but I probably didn't. Like I was just getting small amounts of highlights, reading Sports Illustrated. Like, how did I feel like?
I think you read more.
I knew everything about the Falcons.
Yeah, I think exactly what you just said. You read more about it. It wasn't just constantly consuming it with video. So when you read more, you might digest it a little bit better, and it might stick a little bit. I will tell you, when I prepare for these games, the only way I remember anything is by writing it down and reading it. It's not, like I can watch, for instance, I watched Jim Harbaugh yesterday. If you ask me what he said, I don't know, but I made notes. And that's how I remembered. If that's how I remembered to go back and get the one clip this morning, because it stuck to me when he said, Jackson Dart's had the it factor. I was like, damn. I wrote that down as something I remember my notes. I don't necessarily remember what I watched.
They also say too that sometimes like students in school in particular now too, they'll have like a laptop or iPad, and that's how they'll take notes. And it's a different, a lesser memory than if you handwrite the notes yourself.
Handwriting for me has always been better, which is why all of my game notes when I do games are still people make fun of me, but it just works better for me.
Has your handwriting gotten worse over the years?
No, it's the same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Mine's gotten worse.
But I don't write in script either. I haven't used script since 8th grade. Didn't have to do it in high school, and I stopped it after 8th grade. So everything's been print.
Yeah, when I try to take notes for myself now, handwriting them, they just look terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't have that issue. I don't think anyway. I've never struggled with doing a game, looking down for a quick note and being confused by my own writing. Maybe I just know it better. Maybe you would think it's awful, but to me, it's the same.
What do you write with?
It depends. If it is, so for instance, the special teams sheet will be all in pen. Nothing's really going to change. Matter of fact, I left the kicking one for the Giants blank. I'll fill that in as soon as I know. I guess it's going to be cool, but I'll fill that in when I'm ready. The charts I will usually do in pencil, because as the game's going on, I'll try and erase an update. I don't why do the special teams? I don't know. I just don't. But most of it's in pen. Some of it's in pencil. It depends on what it is exactly.
I love a Sharpie for everything.
Yeah, but the Sharpie, you got to be careful. If you don't get a fine one, the letters can get thick, and then you lose room on the page.
And I love a new Sharpie.
New Sharpies are good.
Plus, the other problem with the Sharpie, right? If you put your hand across, you might smear.
Yes, very much so.
Smear thing. Do you have a favorite pen?
Nope, one that writes.
I do not picky.
I don't have a favorite pen. We have a drawer in the kitchen that's got about 100 pens in it.
Just random pens.
Yeah,
and you'll grab one.
Yes, Correct. And I sit there with my pencils and I got the automatic sharpener. That's what I do. Yeah, I'll be doing a lot of that today, actually. I have a lot done already for Sunday, but I saved a good amount of work for today when I saw the forecast was terrible.
The pencils, those Fort Ticonderoga pencils?
They are. Yes, they are.
Those are the best.
It's funny that you remember Fort Ticonderoga.
The number 2,
Yes.
Fort Ticonderoga pencil.
Ticonderoga. Exactly.
That's pretty cool. You get to do the Chargers Giants game.
You know what? I have a very cool stretch of the next 4 weeks where I've got Giants, Chargers play-by-play, Cowboys, Jets play-by-play, both at MetLife.
Back-to-back weeks, is that?
Back-to-back weeks. Then I get a week of Cowboys pre and post where I go back to that for a week. And then I have a week off, I believe. Maybe not. No, I don't have a week off. Then I have Ohio State at Wisconsin.
Well, college football.
With Tiki again. So that's kind of fun. The fact that I got 2 games here in the next 4 weeks with Tiki, which is neat. And then I go to the Bahamas for a long weekend. That's my stretch.
For sports, or you're just going on vacation?
My son's 21st birthday.
Oh, nice.
So we're taking him to the Bahamas, and hopefully there's no hurricanes.
Yeah, I think, I guess it's still technically hurricane season, but I always feel like hurricanes is like August.
Maybe, but you can get them.
Yeah.
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping for good weather. And then when I get back, it's essentially November and basketball season starts. And then I got the month of hell, November, where I think I am working in November. I think I'm working 17 games.
In November?
Between Compass and Rutgers, yeah.
Damn, Jerry.
It's a really stupid month.
Is Rutgers supposed to be good basketball-wise?
No, they're picked to be bad. But I actually think they're going to be good.
Because they lost their guys to the draft.
Yeah, well, they only have 4 players back from last year, but that's like every college team these days. I think they've got some talent. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. But we'll see.
I'll probably make my way out there to one of those games.
Well, that would be nice of you. We'll make you a superstar.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
If I can get you on the board, Al Dukes from the Boomer and Geo show.
Hi, everybody.
You would love to be. I can get that done.
Yeah.
I can get that done.
Yeah, like I see they put Pacheco up on the board sometimes.
Well, yeah, he was a star running back there. Your girlfriend teaches there. Not quite the same thing.
That's very close.
Oh, yeah.
Very close.
It'd be great as if they put you on the board, and instead of they show you, they show Gina as the instructor at Rutgers.
I'll put my head right in front of her face. Look at me.
You would, too.
Look at me. All right, Jerry, let's do the warm-up show. We'll be back here tomorrow, 5 a.m. for a Friday Football Friday. We'll see how the Mets and Yankees did. Cool games. We'll see you tomorrow. See ya.